Welcome to the Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're looking at a really incredibly powerful, yet kind of misunderstood exam accommodation. We are talking about the art of reading aloud in exams. If you've been granted this accommodation, you have essentially been handed a fantastic key to unlocking your true potential on test day. Let's get right to it. Okay, be honest. Do you ever just lose your place when you're reading silently? It is so frustrating, isn't it? You're staring at this massive block of text, the clock is ticking, the exam room is dead silent, and suddenly the words just start to blur together. You read the exact same sentence 3 times and still have absolutely no idea what it actually says. Well, if this sounds familiar, take a deep breath. You are completely normal and you are exactly who we made this for. Today's Explainer is your ultimate empowered guidebook for conquering this exact anxiety and taking back control of your exam experience. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our quick roadmap for today. What is reading aloud? Why does it help? How to do it right? Exam rules, do's and don'ts, pro tips for exam day, and finally, use it or lose it. Let's jump in. All right, section 1. What is reading aloud? Let's cover the basics. Reading aloud in the context of your exams simply means you quietly read the exam questions to yourself. That's literally it. But notice what it doesn't say. You're not reading to anyone else, you're not putting on a performance, and you're definitely not speaking to an examiner. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, wait, aren't people going to stare at me? No, absolutely not. And that's because you are allowed to read aloud specifically because you'll be taking your exam in a separate room where you won't disturb any other students. It's a totally private, secure space just for you to do your best work. Moving on to section 2. Why does it help? Let's talk about finding your focus. For a lot of us, our brains just process information a bit differently. Hearing the words physically spoken out loud can dramatically help you understand what a question is actually asking. It acts like a mental anchor, right? Making it way easier to concentrate and actively preventing you from losing your place when you read. You just need to hear the question to process the information. So the crucial point is this: reading aloud is a tool to help you hear and understand the question, but, and this is a big but, you still have to work out the answer yourself. It doesn't hand you the answer. It just gives you the clarity to find it. Section 3. How to do it right. Here are 6 steps to success. Let's break this down into 6 really deliberate steps. Step 1, read the question aloud quietly. Just use a calm, clear voice that helps you ground yourself. Step 2, actively listen to yourself. Hearing those syllables out loud is what triggers your understanding. Step 3, read it again if you need to. Seriously, there's no limit here. Take as many passes as it takes. Step 4, pause and think about your answer. You're the one deciding what the answer is, based on what you just heard. Step 5, write or type your answer out just like normal. And step 6, use it whenever it helps. You don't have to read every single question out loud if you don't want to. You are in total control of the whole shebang. Okay, section 4, exam rules, do's and don'ts. Let's establish some clear boundaries. Let's draw some clear lines here to completely remove any anxiety about doing the wrong thing. Looking at the do's first. Do read quietly to yourself. Do read difficult words or specific parts of the text more than once, as many times as you need. Do work completely at your own pace, using this tool throughout the entire exam if you feel like it. Now for the don'ts. Don't read so loudly that you disturb others in nearby rooms. Don't try to talk to other students, obviously. Don't ask the invigilator or anyone else to explain the question to you. And most importantly, don't expect reading aloud to magically hand you the answer. Remember, this accommodation helps you hear the words. Your brilliant brain is what actually finds the answers. Section 5, Pro Tips for Exam Day. Let's maximize that benefit. I really want you to take this to heart. When the pressure is on, our first instinct is to rush, right? Fight that instinct. Read slowly and clearly. Give yourself full permission to pause and actually think after you read each question. If you get hit with a massive, terrifying paragraph, don't try to swallow it whole. Break those longer questions into small, manageable little sections. And please, never sit there worrying about needing to read a question for a second or third time. It is your time, your space, and your tool. Use it whenever it helps you bridge that gap between the paper and your understanding. And finally, section 6, use it or lose it. It's time to start advocating for yourself. So for this accommodation to stay valid, it literally has to be considered your normal way of working. That means you need to be using it consistently across the board. Whenever it's available and appropriate, you should be using it in your daily lessons, during your regular class assessments, during your mock exams, and of course, during your actual final exams. Why? Well, it's a logistical reality. If you choose to be shy and you don't use this arrangement regularly throughout the school year, the school simply might not have enough documented evidence to prove that you still need it when the final exams roll around. It really all boils down to this punchy mandate. Use it, don't lose it. Be your own best advocate here. Form the habit right now, so that is just second nature by the time you sit down for the test that really matters. Let's move to and see how this builds our ultimate pre-exam mental checklist. Before you even walk into that room, lock these 5 facts into your mind. Check. I know I can read questions aloud quietly. Check. I know I can read a question more than once. Check. I know reading aloud helps me actually understand the question. Check. I know I still have to put in the work to find the answer myself. And finally, check. I am ready, and I am stepping into this exam with total confidence. We're going to wrap up today's explainer with this incredibly empowering thought. Reading aloud doesn't change the exam. It doesn't give you an unfair advantage, and it definitely doesn't do the work for you. It simply removes a barrier, helping you show exactly what you already know. So my final question to you is this. How are you going to use your voice to boldly show off your knowledge in your very next exam? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Go out there, read with confidence, and absolutely crush it.